Welcome back, lads and ladettes, to a very special episode. I mean, maybe not as special as last episode was, but this one's special too. We made a mistake.
We did.
We are talking about the milestone of a year long since our return, and it turns out Zach had done the math and had fact checked. Last episode 79, was the 1 year anniversary of our return.
Yeah.
Today is episode 80, so that's a milestone. And it's also the 1 year anniversary of when we started uploading videos on YouTube.
Yeah. So I, basically, like right after the episode, I went and looked because I was like, we teased it the entire episode of like a year is coming up, or maybe, and then we just kept going like, maybe this was a year. I don't know. And I was like, okay, I need to know. So I pulled it up. It was a year last episode, like you said, was our first podcast back. And then a year, this episode is our first uploaded YouTube video. So now we've been buzzing along on YouTube for a year at this point. So thank you to everyone who's followed along on our YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever you guys do on there. And then again, thank you to everyone who's been following us on the podcast. It's been an absolute blast of a journey to this point. A year later, here we are still making podcasts from the return. It lasted longer than the first time around. I'm pretty sure the first time we did it for like 5 months and then everything just got chaotic. Zoom wasn't a thing. I remember I had set up, like, I was at school. I had the soundboard, my computer, a monitor, my phone going into another thing, and 2 or 3 separate apps uploaded so that I could try to like record all the sound from one thing to another, also see you guys on FaceTime, also have times in some of the notes and everything going on all at once.
Discord.
And then there was Discord, there was FaceTime, there was Skype, like there was a million things going on. My computer sounded like it was going to explode every single time we were recording. And then it just got too chaotic. Recording was hard. Editing was hard. It was hard to get all the boys together, and we shut her down after like, I guess almost like 6 months at that point. But here we are, a year running. So we're at like a year and 6 months total of the Lads and Lawn Chairs podcast. Pretty cool journey to be on with you, McGee. I'm glad we're still buzzing along here because it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude, it has been fun. From like being international, just seeing random countries that listen to us and meeting people who like know me from the podcast or have heard of the podcast that I've never met before. It's a pretty cool thing. It's like, wow, like really, like you know about that, and like I thought that was just something that was between my friends and I. But like it's pretty cool how it's progressed. We've been able to chat with a lot of cool people over the tenure of when we've been doing this. It's pretty wild though. Like I know we were doing Discord was back when Discord was trash and like nothing was working. I feel like quarantine kind of helped develop the quality of like online communication platforms
for sure.
So yeah, it's exciting, man. And people always like go up to me and like, oh, you're the podcast guy or whatever. But like, I don't know, man. I don't like being on camera. I don't like recording myself at like parties, or like I'm not a big social media guy posting frequently on Instagram, or like especially pictures of myself. Like I don't like speaking. I don't like listen to my voice record. It's kind of weird. Like everything that I do with Lads and Lawn Chairs is something that like isn't necessarily what I would do in my day-to-day life, or how I would like carry myself normally. And I don't know why, but it just doesn't bother me with Lads and Lawn Chairs. It gets out there, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Like I rewatched the video once and then that's it.
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking about that actually. Like when we first started, I was like, I don't know. I don't even want to hear my own voice. So why would anybody else want to hear it? Blah, blah, blah. And then like, I was like, obviously I didn't want to be, I kind of liked being on camera kind of thing. Like I did some stuff in high school of like being in front of the camera and doing some like fake act, like some acting stuff or whatever, like not full, like acting, but just as jokes. And then, but still I was like a little bit uncomfortable and like, I don't know what people think, blah, blah, blah. And then it was kind of just, I think we all just hit a point of like, who cares what other people think? Like, we're just doing this. We're enjoying it. Like we're having fun. It's a good way for all the boys to get together and chat every now and then. And now here I am. Like, I love doing this. Like I've started branching out and doing all these different things. And like, we've put ourselves out there and completely put everything on the line. And it's been an absolute blast. And we've gotten opportunities from this that we would have never otherwise gotten. I think that for both of us, it's expanded like things that we're comfortable with and things that we'd be comfortable with going forward, like even just in jobs or other situations like that, because of this experience that we've got to have.
Yeah, it still kind of blows my mind when I actually think about it, because it's not often that I'll sit down and really think about like what we've done and like what we're doing. It's just kind of like, oh, that happened. I had a meeting today, or I recorded an episode today, and I
Yeah.
take it so like just piece by piece at a time. And then you take a step back, you're like, wow, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, good. Wow, I would
Yeah.
have never like expected that our PS4 parties would turn into that, and like getting to meet Paul Bissonnette and like
Yeah.
James Duffy and Cabby Richards and singing Stronger Beer with Tim Hicks. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. You think about that, like we sat down on a Zoom call and sang Stronger Beer with Tim Hicks. Like it's just you go from sitting in the basement and talking about Will Ferrell movies. All of a sudden, we're interviewing guys who were playing in the OHL, and we're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." But we have buddies playing the OHL, and okay, now we're interviewing AHL guys, and all of a sudden, Anthony Sorelli comes on, and then we just graduate onto, like you said, Paul Bissonnette. We recorded an episode with James Duthie that gets stolen on my computer,
Oh,
like, and then next thing you know, like Duthie says he'll come back on. We have him on, and I'm pretty sure it was actually a year ago today was the James Duthie episode. I'm pretty sure that was the first YouTube video ever that we put out. So some cool things along the way, and then even just like the keeper of the cup, like imagine sitting there saying on the PlayStation party, like, yeah, boys, we're gonna interview the guy who looks after the Stanley Cup every single day. Like I would have been like, yeah, that's good one. Like one can
nice.
dream.
Yeah, it's pretty well. And the one common denominator that makes it all possible is the listeners.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening. Whether you're an avid listener, whether you reply to our stories, or you're a complete closeted listener and just will refuse to admit that you're a listener of Lads and Lawn Chairs, that's okay. That's okay. We
Yeah.
appreciate you, and we'll keep doing this as long as we
Yeah.
keep.
Thank you guys for the support. But McGee, it's episode 80. And as we said, we've done player battles every single week, I guess, since like sometime in the episode 50s, the 50 episodes, because
Yeah.
Ben OC suggested we do this. He thought it would be a good idea because we were naming episodes after players, but multiple episodes have some good guys you could name it after. So
No, I think it was 40s, because I'm pretty sure we did a Rich Peverly episode.
you're right. You're right. You're right. Actually, yes, you're right. So yeah, okay. So even
Maybe
back into
40,
the
I think it's
40s.
like 46 or 47. I want to say
Okay.
47.
So we've been at this for a while then, these player battles.
Yeah.
But this week we have two legends. Legends. They're going to have some great intros coming up here. They both have incredible stat lines and resumes to go with it. And I was thinking we just take it down to, because of the sports these guys played, we can make it as simple as just an egg race. So what I'm thinking is these guys will have to race from one side of a football field to the other and back, carrying an egg on a spoon. So you have to cradle the egg on the spoon, and you have to beat the other guy in the race. Okay. Yeah, obviously can't drop the egg, break the egg, whatever. If you drop it and it doesn't break, pick it up, keep going, whatever you got to do. But the egg can't break. And then the first one to go there and back wins the egg race. So, McGee, episode 80, player introductions. Here we go. Our first competitor. He was drafted 3rd overall in the 4th round of the 1987 NFL supplemental draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. He played 16 seasons in the NFL, 3 with Philadelphia, 13 with Minnesota, and 1 with the Miami Dolphins. In a 209 career games played, he totaled 1,101 receptions, 13,899 receiving yards, and 130 receiving touchdowns. An 8-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro, a member of the All-1990s Hall of Fame team, and a member of the Football Hall of Fame. A 6-foot, 3-inch, 202-pound wide receiver from Troy, Ohio, Gradual Christopher Darren Carter, aka Chris Carter.
Gradual.
Yeah, his first name Gradual, man. I was looking for the nicknames like we've been doing. This guy's name is Gradual Christopher Darren Carter. So I was like, oh, that's the whole thing's got to go in there, man.
Yeah, of course. Nothing gradual about those stats, though.
No. His competitor in the egg race. He was drafted in the 1st round, 16th overall by the San Francisco 49ers in the 1985 NFL Draft. He played 20 seasons in the NFL, 16 seasons with San Fran, 3 with the Oakland Raiders, and a half a season with the Seattle Seahawks. In 303 games played, he totaled 1,549 receptions, 22,895 receiving yards, and 197 receiving touchdowns, as well as 10 rushing touchdowns. A 13-time Pro Bowler, 10-time All-Pro, 1987 Offensive Player of the Year, 1993 Offensive Player of the Year, all 1980s Hall of Fame team member, all 1990s Hall of Fame team member, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, McGee, and a member of the Football Hall of Fame, a 6-foot, 2-inch, 200-pound wide receiver from Crawford, Mississippi, Jerry Flash 80 Rice.
That's kind of a cool nickname, Flash 80.
Yeah, you want to know what his other nicknames were that I found? So one of them is World. Just straight up World. That's what it said. Rice? Yeah, Jerry World Rice. And then the other one is the GOAT. Jerry the GOAT Rice. Like, this guy has some sick nicknames.
Yeah. I mean, 20 seasons in the NFL. I feel like it's not very common that anybody plays 20 seasons in the NFL these days.
No, I don't think so either. And like a wide receiver, I feel like his body takes a good amount of wear and tear. Both these guys, wide receivers, 16 years and 20 years. That's a long time these guys played it in the NFL. So it's pretty impressive that they lasted that long and were that durable. Mm-hmm. But both incredible stat lines, both amazing resumes, Hall of Fame members. Like, this is a good player battle for sure.
I can't wrap my head around this one. This is a tough battle. And this is one of the first battles that I've ever seen that I don't have a clear-cut winner, in my mind at least, prior to making a decision.
Okay, McGee, I never saw these guys play, so it's hard for me to tell on that level, and maybe I'm missing something here, and like somebody's going to tell me like, whoa, wait a minute, this guy was like insanely fast or something like that. But I think these guys have the exact same skill level in terms of their hands, because how many receptions, how many touchdowns these guys have, like both wide receivers, they're obviously soft hands, like silky mints going on here. But Jerry Flash 80 Rice, there's a reason this guy's called Flash, right? Like Flash 80. This guy had to be just jetting around the football field. And I think it's just, for me, it's just Jerry Rice, like Jerry the GOAT World Flash 80 Rice. His name's also Jerry Lee Rice, by the way. That's his real name. That's his full name, Jerry Lee Rice. So I'm giving this one to Jerry Rice, flat out.
Jerry Rice. That's a good decision. I mean, I feel like it's hard to bet against those stats. Man.
You're really stumped by this one, eh? Like, this one is really taking a toll on you.
I am.
Break down the thought process for me here. Like, what is withholding you from rolling with Jerry Rice with me here?
I just think that Jerry Rice may be too fast for his own good.
You think that like he's going to be flying and just like drop this egg?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think he might be too fast. That he'll focus more on speed than balance. And I think I'm going to go with Chris Carter on this one.
Okay.
Just because his name's Gradual. Like, it just makes sense for the competition. I got to go with my boy Gradual Christopher Darren Carter here. Gradually getting it done. Good stat line. I think he's just kind of steady Eddie. Still not a slowpoke by any means. Mm-hmm. But I think if he takes it gradually, as his name implies, that he won't drop the egg. He'll be more conscientious.
Okay.
Of the task at hand and ultimately come out with the W. So I'm going Chris Carter.
All right. So this is back-to-back weeks of ties. And what we're going to have to do is put the two tiebreak or the two player battles that tied in next episode, because we haven't had enough time this week to get that player battle up and have the poll out for people to vote on for this past episode, for episode
Yeah.
79, because we had a tie there too with the Find the Water competition between Alexei Yashin and Andrei Markov.
Yeah.
And that's just because with the long weekend coming up here, we're recording earlier in the week. Got stuff going on this weekend just in terms of trying to get outside and enjoy the weather, just have our weekend to ourselves, going to the cottage. Like there's things going on, and we're just getting this episode out early. So we will get those two player battles and the tiebreakers. They will be in the next episode. So we'll release those to you guys. But McGee, we're recording on Wednesday, May 19th. This is earlier than when we normally record for our episodes to be coming out. But I do have some exciting news in that tomorrow, so when this comes out, it'll be a couple days past, but Thursday, May 20th, I'm getting the first shot of the vaccine, and I'm pumped
Hey,
up. Yeah.
yeah, man, that's exciting.
Yeah,
How did you? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm excited about it. My sisters are both fully vaccinated. They're down at school in the States, so they're like done. They literally got their second vaccines today. That's it.
Oh my
It's
God.
yeah, but so here we are like waiting for my first one, and then who knows when my second one will be. As long as it's within this year, I don't really care.
Yeah, it's like in
But
August or something.
yeah, but yeah, no, I'm excited about it. It's kind of waiting for it. I guess it's a sense of like life potentially going back to normal in the near
Yeah.
future here, so it's exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. So take this in. I may have mentioned it to you before we recorded. I don't think I mentioned this on the air. I could have, and if I have, I apologize. But I registered because I got the Vac Centers Canada. I follow that and just want to keep an
Yeah.
eye out. So I got the notification. Oh, like 18 plus in Markham. Register here for all the pharmacies and locations close to you who administer the vaccine. I thought perfect. Let's do it. So I like register for about like 4 or 5 different like locations and just thought, wait, whichever one gets back to me first, it's perfect. I got
Yeah.
options and I'll just go and gas the other ones. So I'm sitting in my backyard enjoying the weather last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and I get a notification on my phone, and it goes, "Oh, like, congrats! Like, your time in queue is done. Like, you're at the front of the line. Click this link to book your vaccine." So I click on the link, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's amazing! Like, that's pretty quick. Like, just 3 days. 3 days later, after registering, 4 days." So
Yeah.
I click on the link, and there's a section that says, here's the calendar, book which time you would like. So I click on the view time slots. Then a notification pops up. Sorry, like all time slots for this day are full. Or like, and I'm like, what the hell? This is the day you, and I couldn't change the day forward or backward. Like that was out of the question. It's not like I just didn't see it or had noticed that I had
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just wouldn't let me book. So I'm like, what the hell? Why would you send me that notification telling me I'm next up in line and then be full?
Yeah.
Come
It's
on.
the ultimate tease.
Yeah,
The
seriously.
yeah, you got sewered there. The apparently like the vaccine websites and stuff have been actually just like terrible to work with. I haven't really had much experience. I did the registration like you did, and then I got a notification being like the next day saying that Ontario has moved the age limit to allow like our age group to get it. But that had
Mhm.
happened like 2 weeks before or a week before or something. So I was like, okay, this is not relevant. Like this already happened. And then I never got anything else. And
Yeah.
then because of where we work and like in a hotspot and stuff, I was able to actually book my vaccine and go, and now I'm able to go and get it. But yeah, like the websites have been kind of crappy. And then I got one of those like song texts too, because I was like, oh, this is a good sign. Like I'm getting one from the Shoppers Drug Mart number
That's
that
what I
I
got
set it
too,
up.
man.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, sick. Like I'm getting one here. And then he's like, oh, you're eligible to get it. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I registered, guys. Like, hello. Like, what are we doing
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. I think it must have been the exact same text or something at least really similar because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was upset. I was excited. I kind of dropped everything I was doing to book it. No dice.
Yeah.
But
The
that's
only
a
thing I'm worried about is so I'm getting it Thursday and I have to work Friday,
mhm.
and I'm gonna be outside landscaping, and like I know one of my sisters got like really sick and one of them felt nothing. My dad felt like hungover. My mom didn't really feel anything. She felt like tired. And then someone that I work with got it on Sunday, and they came to work on Monday and felt fine. They couldn't lift their arm above their head. So I'm like, this is a wide range of reactions here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I could be violently ill, feeling hungover, and can't lift my arm above my head, or I could feel none, or I could have like any little combination of these things. So I'm
yeah,
just like in for one here.
yeah. Is that like permutations? Is if to calculate
Yeah, this is grade 12 data
that
management here, like combinations and permutations. Yeah.
trying to figure out what Zach could possibly have, the outcomes of his vaccine experience.
The number of possible outcomes that could happen. Yeah. I got like the little exclamation mark in all
Yeah,
my math and stuff.
yeah. When there's exclamation marks, it's going to be a wild outcome. But I wish you the best.
Thank
I wish you
you.
the best. I'm sure it'll go smoothly. I've heard like from people that again just kind of tired and a little groggy and sore, but
Yeah.
not the end of the
That's been
world.
like the general consensus, but then I have heard people on the complete either ends of the spectrum, I guess to say, like either very, very sick or like nothing.
Yeah,
Like they didn't even feel like they had it. So I'm like, okay, let's see what happens here. But
yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
That's perfect. I can't wait to get mine too. Like, I just want to be able to have our lads
Lollapalooza.
go. Well,
Oh,
Lollapalooza, but also the golf thing. I want my green jacket, Zach.
I know because when we were doing it, it kind of looked like we might be able to get that green jacket handed out relatively soon. We knew it was going to be a little bit delayed and we were waiting for you to come home from school and there's like
Yeah,
some other things going on. But then it just got like, nope, nothing. Like you guys can't have it at all.
I
So
know.
now we're just like fully just waiting on a return to play at this point to see when we can get that green jacket handed to you. But we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I'm excited. So hopefully Doug Ford's buddies change their ways and we can all get back to normal. But that being said, like we're now going to welcome somebody to the podcast. We've been kind of hinting at things happening um, that we've been teasing you guys. We've been leading you on and saying that big things are happening, and they are. So without further ado, a good buddy of mine will be joining us, and yeah, I'll just throw it right to the interview. I'm now pleased to introduce to the pod a good friend of mine and a former teammate in Elliott Lake. The one of the first friends I made up there, first good friends, I'd say. Had a sleepover one time when I got locked out of the billet house, so we go way back. Uh, we're pleased to introduce Damian Figueira to the pod. Damian is currently a hockey player for the York University men's hockey team, and he's getting involved with something else this summer. A little extracurricular activity yeah, Damien, would you mind sharing with us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's I'm definitely excited for this. Yeah, we got some good stories to talk about from Elliott Lake for sure. But um, yeah, this summer, a few of a few of my teammates and I were doing the Ride to Conquer Cancer, which is a 200-kilometer bike ride over the span of 2 days. And all we're raising money for cancer research. Um, so we started up an Instagram page and just posting some training videos and just sharing some of our progress. And that's taking place the weekend of August 28th and 29th.
So, how did you like get into the cycling and decide to do the cycling for this Ride to Conquer Cancer? Like, did you ride before, or was it just like, okay, hey, like guys, let's stay in shape here and like let's do this thing. Let's try to ride some bikes. Like, how did that all start?
Yeah, good question. A lot of people are actually asking me that. Um, we, well, I've always like enjoyed riding my bike like as a kid, and um, like a few summers ago, I bought like a decent like hybrid bike just to like boot around, and like I didn't have my own car, so like to get in the gym in the summers, I would ride my bike there and whatnot, and I just really liked it. And then last year, with nothing going on and being in lockdown, I was doing a lot of cycling, and then I was like, man, like this bike is like really hard to ride on because it's just like a hybrid bike, like a city bike it's like half city bike, half mountain bike. And a friend of mine had a road bike, Justin B, and he's went for a bike ride one time together, and he was on his road bike and I was on this old bike, and he was just like smoking me. And I was like, man, I need to get one of these road bikes. So then at the end of last summer, I bought a road bike, and like I just love cycling, and I've been using it a lot. And this summer we're in lockdown so far too, so I've been getting out quite a bit. And um, I'm sure like everybody has their own story with cancer. Everybody knows somebody or has been affected by it. And my teammate Justin said like, "Hey, we should do this ride to conquer cancer this summer." And I was like, "Yeah, sounds good." And usually it's a ride from Toronto to Niagara Falls, but because of the pandemic, it's kind of decentralized, and everybody just rides it with their own team together and records the distance and shares it. So yeah, there's a pretty good group of us doing it.
That's unreal, man. So at that point, when Justin came forward and kind of asked you to join him with this ride to conquer cancer, did you find it was tough to kind of recruit the rest of your team and fill out the rest of the roster when you say, "Hey guys, like 200 kilometers, let's go"? Were there a lot of takers at first, or did you really have to kind of knock on some doors and find a good group of guys to do it with you?
Yeah, it's definitely intimidating. But we actually had some friends who were kind of into it already. I did the Ride for Heart and Stroke 2 summers ago in 2019, which is a 50-kilometer charity ride in Toronto. So I did that with one of my friends from the gym, who also bought a road bike last summer. So he was kind of excited to to take part too. And a couple other friends, kind of the same situation as me, just like really nothing going on last summer. So they bought bikes. And they wanted to do this. And my girlfriend as well, she's kind of getting into it as well. And I think she was a little bit intimidated at first about the 200 kilometers, but we've gone out a couple times together on the bike, and I think she's getting used to it, and she's not so scared of it anymore.
Perfect, man.
So
Perfect.
the 200 kilometers does seem like an intimidating distance. How far, like what's the farthest you've ridden in one ride so far? Obviously you said over 2 days, but like what's the farthest you've ridden in one go?
Yeah, so like when I first started cycling, well, the first long ride I ever did was that 50-kilometer Ride for Heart and Stroke, and that was on my old bike, so that hunk of junk. But
That's the equivalent of a
like
thousand
now 50
kilometers.
kilometers is like kind of a good, just like kilometers is like kind of like just a ride I'll do. But the longest ride I've done was actually about a month ago with Justin, and we did 100 kilometers. So 100 kilometers is the longest ride I've done, and that was definitely a bagger. Like at the end of that, were we were feeling all right, but we had to stop a couple times. Like we stopped for food, we stopped for coffee. We kind of made a day out of it, so it was fun, and I think that's what we're going to do. It's 200 kilometers over 2 days, so I think we're going to do 100 the first day and 100 the second day. So
Right on, man. That actually does sound like a lot of fun, especially stopping and grabbing a bite to eat, just kind of hanging out and just you, the bikes, and the open road.
yeah, that it is nice, man. Like I don't know, you see them like I always saw cyclists like going to cottage, like wearing like all the tight clothes and stuff, and I'm like, man, these guys are such hardos. But once you get into it, like I really like it, man. Like especially right now with like nothing going on, like I don't know. You guys are both in school, or Zach, I don't know if you're in school, but Mags, like you're in school, and like this year doing school online, and like a grind, and like you're home all day, and like you're just on your computer, you're just sitting there, and like it's so draining. And just getting out and like it's like I used to listen to music, and sometimes I just go out and just like no music, and I just go for a ride, and it's nice to just get out and be alone and have some time to think.
Yeah. I gotta ask you this. I know that you're a big car guy as well. We used to rip around in the Wick all the time, and you're no stranger to long drives. And now that you've been a road cyclist too, I want to know where you fall. Are you team road cyclist? Are you team car guy that hates on the road cyclist? What's your stance, man? What's your stance on that? Because I know it's a battle that's been as old as time itself, it seems.
That's a good question. That's funny too. And it makes me laugh because so I'm doing some landscaping right now, and the guy that I work with, he drives the truck around, and like he just despises cyclists when he's driving. Like he's like, man, these guys got to get off the road. Like we got to get to the next site. I'm like, dude, like just relax. Like you have so much space to get around them, and um, there's definitely those people that just hate them. And like when I'm riding my bike, like sometimes you get people that just like whiz right by you, like they're scraping your elbows as they're going by, and it's like you have the whole road, like just move over. So for cyclists, like I definitely know that it's very, very annoying and dangerous to whip by a cyclist. So I think I'm team cyclist, definitely team cyclist. You gotta be careful for those guys, and they're just out there trying to get some exercise. So give them some space.
And a follow-up question for you.
That being said, like if they're riding in the middle of the road and being inconsiderate, then like they gotta know better.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a follow-up question too. With you being on Team Cyclist, I don't know, I tweeted this on my old Twitter account that it seems as though cyclists in Toronto all have calf tattoos. Is there a calf tattoo in your future? Like, are you going to be like committing to the cyclist in your spandex shorts, rocking the calf tattoo?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm not really a tattoo guy. I don't have any tattoos. But I guess if I were to get one, it would have to be a calf one, and something definitely gnarly. I guess my calves are looking a little juicy now from all the cycling. So
Yeah, I bet, man.
I
Just like a tattoo of your bike on your calf, like your own bike.
like a picture of me riding or just the bike.
Yeah, yeah, that's even better. You riding the first ever bike.
Yeah, the junk bike. Yeah,
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
calf. No, I'm not. I'm not a big tattoo guy. I don't have any, and um, so yeah, I guess I'm not really team cyclist then if I don't get one.
Yeah, that's the full commitment right there, is getting the calf tattoo.
Oh yeah.
So, how many people is it that you have riding on this team with you? And do you guys have a team name?
Yeah, so our team name is Ciclismo, which is just something that we kind of thought was cool. It means like cycling in Italian. So we just thought it was a cool team name. And there's 8 of us. So the team members are myself, Justin Bean, who's also one of my teammates at York, um, David D'Agostino, who's a teammate of mine at York, my friend Luca Doctor, who I used to train with in the summers, and he used to play at Ryerson. Um, my friend Alex Fatinos, who I also worked out with in the summers, and he was the old goalie at York, and he's the guy I actually did that 50-kilometer ride for Heart and Stroke with. His dad is riding with us. Our friend Eric Woodland from Niagara Falls, who's a youth friend of David D'Agostino, and my girlfriend Elena Rickersing, who plays on the women's hockey team at York. So we're a bunch of hockey players who decided to get on the saddle and bike. So I think that's 8. I said 8. I think that's 8 members.
Yeah, that was 8.
That's perfect, man. Well, good for you guys. And we're happy to be a part of it. I know your jerseys came in. You kind of got in touch with me and wanted to kind of collaborate with the pod. And I'm glad we did. I'm glad you did. You showed me pictures of your jerseys with the Lads and Launchers logo sported on the Ciclismo Cycling Team's jerseys, which is pretty dope. We're gonna try to do our best to one share it with the listeners, and see if we can get some more donations for you guys. And dude, we're super excited to have you on, and super excited to be supporting you as you embark on this 200K ride.
Yeah, and just to build off
Yeah.
what McGee said there, when is the ride? And then how can people help and donate? Is there somewhere they can go? Your Instagram page, what's your Instagram called? Like, how can people find you guys to help you guys out and to donate? Because we'll obviously do our part to promote it and put it out to our listeners. But like, if they wanted to go and find you guys, where do they have to go to do that?
Okay, cool. So our ride is August 28th and August 29th. It was supposed to be June 12th and 13th, but it got pushed back because of the current lockdowns. And I guess they thought it was safer to do it near the end of the summer. Hopefully things get better then and it doesn't get moved again or canceled. So yeah, August 28th and 29th is the days we'll be riding. We're going to be riding 200 kilometers over that span. And to donate, you can find the link in my Instagram bio. We also have a team page on Instagram. It's Ciclismo GTA. So CICLISMO GTA. And there's a link in the bio there as well where you can donate to the team page. So we've all set personal goals of $1,500 and a team goal of $5,000. I know that math doesn't add up because we were originally 3 riders. But as we expanded, we haven't changed our team goal. So we've already exceeded our team goal of $5,000. But we love and we thank everybody for their support, and it's obviously for a great cause. And like I said before, I think everybody has a story or can relate to someone who's dealt with cancer and had to fight. So yeah, we're doing this for a great cause, and we appreciate everybody's support.
Yeah, we're happy to we're happy to partner with you guys on this one, and we'll definitely get that link on our bio as well. So everybody listening, feel free to check that out. We'll get a post going, get you kind of the stories updated consistently, and keeping track of your progress. And we'll have our listeners be able to follow right along and watch you guys as you do this.
For sure, I'll have to send you some pics of the jerseys too. So
yeah, that'd be unreal, man. Figs, it was great catching up with you, and good luck, man. 200K, you've done 100K in a day before. What's one more, man? You got this.
All right. So thanks, Damian, for coming on. It's pretty cool to see what they're up to. These guys are doing some really cool things, and obviously helping a cause like that is pretty awesome. So make sure you go over to our Instagram page. We'll put the link in our bio of where you guys can donate. And if you guys do donate, make sure to post it on your story and tag us and tag Damian and his cycling team as well. CICLIMI. No. CICLIS. No, SMO.
SMO.
Yeah, I just went full dyslexic. I was reading it and then I stopped reading it and looked at you and then just lost at the end. So CICLISMO GTA on Instagram. So Ciclism. Oh my God, McGee, I can't say it.
Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
So their cycling club, you can donate on their page. You can donate on Damian's page, and then we'll have the link in our bio so you guys can donate on there. Really cool stuff that these guys are doing. These guys are doing it for a great cause as well. So that's pretty awesome to see. And then these guys put their logo on our jerseys. So they're going to be riding in their team uniforms with the Lads and Launchers logo on their jerseys, which is also pretty awesome. So we're really happy about that. We're really happy to be involved in that. And we can't wait to see the jerseys and these guys riding in them, because like who again, like going back to a year ago last week or today for YouTube, we brought back the podcast, and who would have thought that by this time we would have like our logo on a team uniform that's being ridden in a charity cycling like race.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I would have never expected that. And I just love catching up with old friends and finding out that they're doing great things still. And it's pretty cool that you don't know a lot of like guys in their early 20s who take it upon themselves to contribute to the Heart and Stroke Foundation and raise money for cancer research. It's
Yeah.
not often you find guys doing stuff like that. So I think it's a super cool thing to do. I'm really excited to be a part of it. We'll get him back on closer to the date. But yeah, man, doing something like that, taking time out of your day to do that. I know, like, even for myself, like I've done some charity stuff, and but definitely not to that level. And that for 200 kilometers and raising money, that's awesome. I know a lot of people who just be sitting at home and playing video games. And honestly, right now in quarantine, that's probably me. I've noticed a lot of my time has gone to Snapchat recently. I'm sitting at the work desk and during my work day, and I'm gonna whatever finish my task, and I open up my phone, and it's like I just get hooked in the Snapchat stories, and sometimes I don't even know what I'm watching. It's just all garbage, but I can't look away. It's trash.
Yo, okay, so we've talked a lot about like the stuff like the TikTok and things that we watch.
Yeah.
I could never get into the Snapchat like Daily Mail and all those
No,
things
it's
that come
never
up on
Daily
there. Like,
Mail. It's like science experiments and stuff.
oh, I still like I stay away from that. You know what is actually kind of crazy is so before I started working, I was just chilling at home basically. Like we're seasonal employment, so I had nothing really going on. Just kind of waiting to get back to work, and I was just putting all my time into the pod. And then when I went back to work, you know how you get the weekly updates of how much time you spent on your phone?
Yeah.
So my first week back at work, at the end of the week, my like
Screen time.
yeah, my screen time was down 65% from the previous week.
Holy crap.
Yeah, dude.
That's good though. I feel like it's just eating my brains. Like I just can't. It's just horrible. It's all garbage, man. I compared it to the modern day tabloids to you before this episode. I think it is. It's just a bunch of nonsense happening. Like
Yeah.
I know way too much about what's going on in like the TikTok influencers' lives. Like I know way too much about like people that I shouldn't even know who they are, and for some reason I do.
Yeah,
I
I just know about it like from Twitter and TikTok. Like I usually stay away from like whatever's on Snapchat. Not for any particular reason. It's just like I just don't go there and get hooked into that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've usually just on Twitter reading things. But yeah, I don't know. It's the once I was able to go back to work and like stay off of it, even since then, like my screen time just goes down and down every day and like every week. My gradual screen time is gradually going down. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a interesting world that you can get wrapped up in if you end up in like all those different streams on there.
I can't even tell when one ends and the other begins. Like just,
yeah, because you click and it just goes to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's honestly horrible. I want to delete Snapchat, so I think that's going to be maybe a challenge that I can do for the pod. Just that I need a good social media cleanse, man. I might just like delete it from my phone because it's just. I'm gonna keep Instagram because I need it for the pod, and also Instagram is like one of those things that your friends like, oh, like who you talk about somebody, and you're like, oh wait, who is that again? And then you're like, oh, this person here. They're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Like, it's just like a identification almost.
Yo, I need to tell you this. So, I think this is actually probably the beginning of the end of looking at any of those Snapchat things that were on there. One time I was hanging out with Ang. Been on the show before, friend of the show, and he was showing me something on Snapchat, and he's like, it was like a Daily Mail feed that comes up, and he's like, yo, like look at this is where I get all this news from and like all this stuff, and he's like telling me, he's like so pumped about it. He's like, yo, give me your phone. So I'm like, okay, so I give him my phone, and he like subscribes to the Daily Mail on the Snapchat thing. And I swear it was like a day or like a day and a half later, I was like, get this garbage off my phone. And I just like unsubscribed and never went back.
Yeah, what is this? There's the Daily Mail. I can't remember. There's one that was actually like decent news where they're a little more serious. But the Daily Mail is just like fucking internet nonsense.
It is full internet nonsense. And he's like, yo, this is where like I find like all my information.
Eng, come on, buddy. I think we have to. Eng's been the subject of a be better. He's also been like the lad of the week. So what goes around comes around.
It balances out.
But I think in this case, we need to be better. Jonathan, be better for getting your news from the Daily Mail on Snapchat. Oh man, at least
like
if you're going to do that, you need like a supporting platform. You need like daily news and something.
Or Daily Mail from like a newspaper or like reading it online, not on Snapchat, where it's like a paragraph that says like scientists may have discovered that sending chimpanzees to Mars will solve ADHD. And then it'll be like, dude, chimpanzees are solving ADHD. It's insane. Like, just pull some stuff out of there, and it's like that's the title.
Let me subscribe you so I don't miss out this.
I swear he was so excited. He's like, man, awesome, give me your phone, give me your phone. Like, you need to see this. I was like, that's no.
Story. But yeah, more of the stories. Snapchat's going down the shitter quick.
Yeah, it's tough now. It's not what it used to be with the dog filter and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was a simpler time back then. Now they're just trying to do too much.
Yeah,
go back to your roots, Snapchat. Nobody wants to be on Snapchat for anything other than sending pictures back and forth. That's it.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the app. Come on, guys. Yeah. McGee, I think that's like about the end of episode 80.
Yeah,
we had a good episode here. We recorded earlier in the week. We didn't really have a game plan here. We kind of just went with the flow of things. We had Damian on talk about the cycling, what those guys are up to. So make sure that you go on our page, go on Damian's page, go on their cycling account to donate. We'll have the link in our bio. We're going to make some posts over this next coming week about what to do and where to go and where to donate. And then make sure when you do donate, you screenshot it or just tell us that you've done so, and we'll share it. We want to put it out there that you guys are supporting them, because that's really awesome what those guys are doing. And then we really are appreciative and thankful for everybody who does help support these guys on their ride to conquer cancer. It's awesome cause that they're doing it for. So we're really excited to be partnering and working with them on that. But yeah, I think this was a great episode, Miggy.
Yeah, I think so too. I think really brought the heat this episode. Thanks again to Damian for coming on and joining us, talking a little bit about his journey. And yeah, guys, thanks again for listening and tuning in for 80 episodes of Lads and Lawn Chairs. So without further ado, you guys know the drill. Catch us next week for episode 81. Same time, same place, same lawn chairs. Cheers, lads and ladettes.
Cheers.